We want to figure these out. All right, so obviously we have rejuvenation. We have swift mend, bark skin, remove corruption. I like having frenzied regen. We want nurturing instinct. I don't know. Maybe boom can we for now? Star Surge. Boom can form. Do I? Oh, I might want Hibernate as a Resto Druid, though. I think I will. I think I'll take that. Oh, but I also want this one. Boomkin side gives 5 extra yards on healing. Yeah, that's true. Healing done. Yep, so we want both of those. Probably want both of these. We probably want Typhoon. We probably want Sunfire. We want Wild Growth. We want Soothe. Some of these are just... We want Stampeding Roar. Like, some of these are very obvious. We want... Alright, we have 5 points left. Probably Ursul's Vortex. Definitely Innervate. Definitely Nature's Vigil. This is the one I'm not quite sure about. So if we... I like the idea of, like, the defensive talent where if you shift into bear form, like, I could see that, I guess, maybe being better for raiding. Maybe, like, specific situations in Mythic Plus. Guardian side is Skull Bash, pretty deep in, though. Yeah, and you would end up giving up a lot, like, Innervate. If I can't get all the way down to Innervate, then you don't get that. But it gives Resto and Interrupt. I just don't know. I mean, you'd have to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... So you'd have to give up, like, Soothe, or... I think that would be a very... Probably, it would vary by week, I imagine. I've been saying for years how much I want Skull Bash as a druid. As a Resto Druid, in particular. Oh, they do need all the ranks. Okay. Are you... Yeah, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then Skull Bash would be the 7th. Yeah, so you, honestly, you would end up giving up, like... So, for example, you would end up giving up the AoE Sunfire, which is damage. You would end up giving up Sunfire in general, probably. Like, things like... Or Typhoon. So it's definitely a trade-off. I think... Yeah. I'm 100% confident on this. Yeah, that you would need to select all the points in like a particular talent. So, alright, so we saved this. We still have 2 points left, though. I love Renewal. I know most people don't like Renewal because it in retail currently it's on the same talent bar as Wild Charge, but I typically find myself... So, as a healer, at least, if I'm in a situation where there's a shit ton of damage that just went out, let's say somebody takes unnecessary damage, but, like, I also have to heal myself, or there's, like, a bleed or something like that, I find more situations like that than I do, oh, let me just fly to this person, or or whatever I'm doing, let me just stag leap over somewhere, because I can use Renewal instantly on myself, and then use, like, Swift Mend or something on somebody else who needs it, and then that right there takes care of 2 people in the party. Wild Charge is more of a positional thing. Oh, this would be a 2-minute cooldown. Oh, but if I only have 2 points... If I only have 2 points that I can't, like, let's see. Yeah, Lex, you're right. Yeah, because I have 2 points in that, and I can't get to Renewal. I feel like this one is still pretty good, though. Okay, we're just gonna go with this. Yeah, it's a real concern because it means multi-point talent paths eat up tons of points. Yeah, it does. It does. I love how many different paths there are, though. I was worried that there would be, like, one, like, best path to go with, but honestly... And I mean, I'm sure there are going to be people who are like, hey, this is the one that, like, you maybe not should, but you know, is a better path than others. But I feel like there are going to be points within whatever system that's going to be that I personally as a player might not need. And so I might go a different route. You should have a total 5 more in at max level.
Need help?
Oh, I see. It's more open-ended with healers, but DPS are going to be pretty rigid on what they go. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Because you want to make sure you're kind of like eking out as much as you can, or at least spending the points to get to like those really important talents. The right-hand utility points you've spent might not be needed depending on the situation. So that's what we were talking about earlier, whereas like you might be in a situation like I have 1 point in Typhoon. Let's say you're doing this for Mythic Plus, you might not need Typhoon. Depending on the affixes and depending on the dungeon, you just might not need that. Or let's say I don't know. Stampeding Roar, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of different spots in this, at least for Resto Druid, where you could kind of shift things around and not select certain talents. Like what Lex was saying, if you did want Skull Bash. Hibernate and Typhoon will most likely be useless in Raid. Exactly, yes. So you probably wouldn't use Hibernate or Typhoon, because in Raid you have a ton of people, and you usually have a ton of CC. So especially if you have more than one hunter with binding and things like that. Or shamans and cap totem. Stampeding Roar is much more useful in a raid. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if, like, let's say, so this right here. So I need 2 more points to get to the reduced Stampeding Roar cooldown. Let's say you need it more than once in a fight for some reason. Let's say you only have a couple, like 1 or 2 druids. I could just not use Typhoon, not use, if it's a raid fight, not use the improved Sunfire, because that extends it. Let's say it's like a single target fight, and that gives me the 2 points right there to get the reduction. I like, in that sense, I like that they have kind of designed it this way. I think this is fine for now, though. All right, so this side. So obviously we want Life Bloom. We want F-Flow. I like Nature Swiftness. I like Nature Swiftness with Soul of the Forest. Because if you use Soul of the Forest and you have that buff up, and you use Nature Swiftness and then a regrowth. This is why I always joke in Mythic Plus whenever I heal someone who gets super low with that, and I'm like, hey, did you like my land hands? Because it's so strong. But it depends if there's a Soul of the Forest somewhere in here. Improved Life Bloom. Life Bloom counts for 1 to 2 additional stacks of mastery. That's actually pretty crazy, especially if you use Life Bloom on the tank, which you usually probably are. That is probably insane. Not insane, but really strong tank healing, like single target tank healing. I'm actually really happy to see that. Wow. I mean, our because of our mastery and however many stacks, like abilities you have on a player at one time, our single target healing was already like pretty good. I feel like this makes it even better. Your healing over time from Life Bloom has a 4% chance to cause a clear casting state, making your next regrowth. I like that. I love Omen of Clarity. Iron Bark, we definitely want. Iron Bark's cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. Like that right there. Well, actually, I bet if you do the 2 points, because it's 0 out of 2, so it probably reduces it by 20 seconds, and in which case that would bring it down to 1 minute and 10 seconds. It used to be, if I remember correctly, it used to be a 45-second cooldown, and then Shadowlands, they changed it. They increased that to, or maybe it was in BFA that they changed it to 1.5 minutes. Again, if you're in a raid, I don't think it's gonna, you have other externals, and tanks also have their own defensives to use. I don't know if I would necessarily spend 2 points in that, unless you're in a raid group with like a healing comp that's really not desirable. Regrowth's initial heal has a 20% increased chance for a critical... Wait. Regrowth's initial heal has a 20% increased chance for a critical effect if the target is already fit. So that's also... I actually like that change. 20% is a little bit lower than what I'd hope it would be. I don't know maybe what a more reasonable percentage would be, but 20% just seems a little bit too low for me. I feel like this would come in handy in Mythic Plus, where you're really kind of, sometimes you have to use regrowth if a tank doesn't have mitigation up, or if it's, I don't know, if it's Grievous or something, I don't know, something like that. Something really like a specific situation where like you have to kind of spam heal regrowth a couple times. That's 2 out of 10 times that you're going to cast it, that it would proc. I think this would be really good. What is this? Wild Growth heals 1 additional target. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So the second rank is 40%. So it's just empty points at this point. Yeah. So I took the point out of that. Okay, remember when I said the 20%, it seems a little bit too low. It's not worth it. The second point, like the second rank, 40% I'm comfortable with. That's awesome. You might if you need to go down that route, though. Are you talking about the Stampeding Roar on a minute? Yeah. If for some reason you need, if it's a fight where you have to, like, Stampeding Roar has to be up at a certain point, like, if you have to use it at, like, I don't know, like, 30-something seconds into the fight, right? Let's say I'm thinking of Denathrius, right? If you had to, for some reason, if you needed more movement, you had to get from one pie slice to the next, but then you also needed it up for when everybody got tossed back and you have to run to the center. So the Wild Growth, I'm not planning on doing a raid, and right now Wild Growth should still hit 5 people. Yeah, 5 injured allies. So if I'm just testing the dungeons, then the baseline Wild Growth is fine right now. And this one, oh. Yeah, I see what you mean. Because I need the wild, so I would need to do this, and, oh shit. Let's do this. And maybe this. There we go. Okay. So we want Trank. Oh, Ysera's Gift. But that's, let's see, that's 3 though. What is this one? Cultivation. Heals you for 2% of your maximum health every 5 seconds. If you are at full health, an injured party or raid member will be healed instead. Or Inner Peace. I don't really want Inner Peace. And I can't... I would want Unstoppable Growth. That's actually that's a conduit right now in Shadowlands. Ysera's Gift for 3 points is highway robbery, to be honest. It really is. So I imagine that would be 6% by the time you get... Oh, 4%. What's the third? Hold on a second. No. Alright, so the first one is 2% in 5 seconds. I see. The next rank is 3 and 5. 4 and 5. Gotcha. Okay. So 4%. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Iron Bark increases healing from your... This is really important. Stone Bark is important. That's what I said. You might need to take the... Oh, gotcha. Yeah, no, I just ended up putting it in Nature Swiftness. The first point is technically more value. But I really like the Stone Bark. We have to spend 9 more points. So we could take both of these. When Rejuvenation heals a target below 60% health, it applies Cultivation. How do you like the new talent system? So now that I'm finally sitting down and looking at the whole talent system, I love it way more than when they had first announced it. When they first announced it, I was not really happy about it, because we've already had talent trees before in the past, and there's a reason why we kind of moved away from them into like the tier system, like talent tier 15 or 40 or whatever. I was hoping that they would kind of put a new spin on it, which they have, at least from a Resto Druid perspective, like a healing role. I like that there are different paths, and it's really obvious that some of these you might not take for like a raid, like for Typhoon example, for example. You might take that for a dungeon, but maybe not every dungeon. And for raid, you might not even take that at all, and you could spend that point elsewhere if you wanted to. Like, let's say you wanted, you know, like Lycara's teachings, and you wanted that extra, you know, it goes from 4% of a stat to 6% with that third rank. You could totally do that if it was raid. If you're doing Mythic Plus, though, maybe you're fine with 2 ranks in Lycara's teachings, and maybe you need that Typhoon for some reason. So we have Tranquility, Inner Peace. I feel like this is better to have. Oh, I love Abundance. We still need to spend 5 more points. And Garros, I think I see what you mean now, is that even though this is not implemented yet, we might end up having to take this. Yeah, and there's Soul of the Forest. So what we could do, we need 5 more points. So let's do this. This. There we go. Well, wait. Not Nourish. Oh, that's interesting. I think I'd rather take Soul of the Forest, honestly. Regrowth's healing over time is increased by 50%. It also applies to the target of your Life Bloom. So Regrowth's healing over time. So the hot itself, when you apply Regrowth to somebody, the healing is increased by 50%. So let's say I'm in a group with, you know, like, let's say I use Regrowth on Lex. And Garros is tanking, and I have Life Bloom on Garros. Does that mean if I use Regrowth on Lex, Garros also gets that? Is that what it's saying? Convoke is Resto only, or is it also Balance? It's also Balance, yeah. It probably would show up for Feral, and I imagine Guardian as well. The only talent trees I've looked at so far are Balance and Resto, though. All Druid specs can get it, yeah. But it's on the spec tree. So this is interesting because Convoke the Spirits can also be used offensively and also slightly defensively, right? Like you're putting hots out. But Tree is specifically like healing or defense. So I think it depends. If for some reason, like I'm thinking of in a raid. If you're in a raid and again, maybe it's a healing intensive fight, or maybe you don't have, you know, like an ideal healing comp, like, I don't know, maybe you don't have, like, in BC it's different because we usually have, like, one of each healer, but let's say you're missing, like, a major cooldown and you just need an extra one for some reason, I could see you going with Tree of Life. However, in general, I could see Convoke the Spirits being the way to go. So I think, can we even select, we can't even select it yet, so hold on, alright, so we chose Abundance, and we have 5 points left. So what is this one? Duration is increased by 1 second, and it heals for an additional 9 when it's your only heal over time. Oh, I like that. No, but it doesn't have an extension. Okay, that's fine. In order to actually get the Convoke, you would need that. Okay. Ooh, I didn't realize this. They have Adaptive Swarm as well. So let's say you don't like Night Fae. You don't want Convoke the Spirits, but you want Adaptive Swarm instead. Oh, that's interesting. Command a swarm that heals or deals damage. So it's basically like the Necrolord Covenant ability. You can have both. Yeah, you could. Well, yeah, you could have. I have to see how many points I have. That's the thing that we're running into, is that like you might find a path that you really like, but certain like talent points require more. So like right now, so we're at this. So I have 5 left. Yeah, so you could do Rampant Growth, Autumn Leaves, and then put a point, so that's 4. However, let's say, I don't know, let's say for some reason you need, oh, actually, like this right here, Ephemeral Incarnation, that's the current 4-piece for Resto Druid right now in Shadowlands. If you, for some reason, wanted that for raid, I don't think you would have enough points, right? 1, 2, oh, and you would need to put 3 in Autumn Leaves in order to unlock Convoke the Spirit. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You wouldn't be able to have that 4 set piece. You wouldn't be able to have, let's see what's down here. Yeah. Oh, what are these? Overgrowth. Oh, Spring Blossoms. You wouldn't be able to have that. So you kind of, it's a trade-off. You have to decide, like, in like a situation, whether it's Raid or Mythic Plus, what you need more. At least for testing purposes, I don't really think I need anything on this right side. Like improved Innervate, Ephemeral Incarnation, things like that. For what I plan on doing, I don't think we're going to need any of that. This is that's 25-second cooldown versus 2 minutes. Oh, did I see? Rejuvenation healing is increased by up to 10%, and Tranquility healing is increased by up to 20% healing for more on low health targets. So I can either have Spring Blossoms or I can have Convoke. I kind of want to test Convoke. Maybe. Like, if we're just testing the dungeons, like, we're going to be, like, on the go. We're going to be on the move. So Spring Blossoms I don't think is really going to be that helpful for me for what we're planning on doing. Command a swarm that heals or deals damage. You know what? I'm going to try Adaptive Swarm. I'm going to try that. So we'll do that. What is this? Has a 30% chance to split into 2 swarms each time it jumps. I kind of want to try this. I want to go with this build and we'll test this. You can use points on the top side too if you miss something. Yeah. The issue with the top side is that, or do you mean the, like, up over here on the, like, the bottom left side? Some of them are not yet implemented or don't have, like, the effects that are listed, which is fine. But sometimes you need to select those in order to get something that you do want.